Whether you want to do it or not, the biggest job of the President of the United States is, of course, to be the President of the United States, which means everywhere, everyone, even, in Trump's words, the haters and the losers, right? You kind of have to look after everyone. But as we know from experience, that is absolutely not what happened during the Trump administration. And according to a new book called This Will Not Pass by a pair of New York Times writers, Donald Trump actually made governors, both Democrats and Republicans, grovel to him after their states faced natural disasters and they needed federal aid. Two people on record saying this was the case. The first one is Larry Hogan, the Republican governor of Maryland, and the next was Ned Lamont, the Democratic governor, of Connecticut. Hogan says that he needed federal aid for his state, and he was told, "You got to ask me nicely." He caved. Obviously, got to help the people of the state. Lamont, same situation, bad storms up in Connecticut. They needed federal aid. He calls up Donald Trump, the White House, and Trump says, "You got to ask me nicely." But Lamont was a little bit smarter with his. This is what it says. Lamont said he decided to play along and flatter Trump into agreeing, telling him, quote, "It would mean a lot to the people if Trump could bring it upon himself to authorize the aid." To which Trump responded, personally, "You got it." This is what happened during those years. But here's the best part about this story, is we don't need this story to tell us this. We all watched it play out firsthand, and Donald Trump wasn't even secretive about it. Like, he was very open in refusing to give aid to areas where the leader of that state or territory or whatever wasn't nice to him. California, Exhibit A. Massive wildfires. Asking for FEMA, asking for federal aid. But state government, of course, state leaders, obviously very critical of Donald Trump. So how did he respond? Telling them, "You're not going to get anything from me. You're on your own in this. Maybe you should start raking the forests," right? We all remember that. Number 2, Puerto Rico. Following massive hurricane devastation, they needed more aid. More aid had been approved, but guess what? Donald Trump didn't want to give it to him, of course, because one of the governors down there was critical of Donald Trump. So, oops, you don't get the aid that you've requested, that your people desperately need. People were dying in the streets. And Trump said, "No, you don't get it because you've been mean to me." Exhibit C. New York. Early days of COVID, right? So many people with COVID infections that they had to set up little tents in their parking garages of the hospitals to start treating patients out there. They didn't have ventilators. They didn't have PPE. How did Trump respond? Because Andrew Cuomo was apparently not nice to him, just like he apparently wasn't nice to anybody. Trump sent all that shit down here to Florida. We didn't need it at the time. We eventually did, and still ended up not having enough because our governor, turned a blind eye to COVID and allowed 70,000 plus people in his state to die. But that's what he did. Instead of giving that stuff to New York that was currently overwhelmed, he sent it to his red state buddies, Texas and Florida. And according to the book, Texas and Florida were actually the only two states in the country where those governors, because they had such a good relationship with Trump, they weren't forced to grovel or beg or flatter him in order to get aid. Whatever they needed, they got it. I'm sure the story would be a little bit different now since Trump doesn't seem to like Ron DeSantis. But that's what happened. People died as a result of Donald Trump holding grudges against these governors. People died. And honestly, if you ask me, that's one of the bigger Trump scandals that everybody seems to have forgotten about, right? We talk about the potential criminal activity, the investigation in Georgia, investigations in New York, investigations in DC, all of that. But this stuff right here, people did actually die because he withheld this aid. If you ask me, it doesn't get any worse than that. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen. Oh, not be so grumpy.